Morning, everyone. It's Linda from Fantastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. So today we are going to look at another gift box idea. I'm kind of on the gift box kick right now. I like to package up my handmade cards and I like to give them as gifts. So today's project is going to be just that. It's going to be showing you how to make these adorable little boxes. And I'm going to move one out of the way here. This is what it looks like on the front. And then you open it up and it has a spot for your envelopes. So it fits 8 cards and 8 envelopes. So this side is for your envelopes. You can just slide your envelopes in and out. And then this side has all of the different handmade cards. So it will fit 8 A2 size cards. So these cards are 4¼ by 5½ inches when closed. So it will fit all 8 in this nice little compartment here. And I apologize for coming on just a little bit late. I was having some technical difficulties, so I hope that my internet stays connected while we're going through this project today. So this is what it looks like. You can actually stand it up. It has this nice little box thing on the side, so it does stand if you want. And then you can, of course, close it, and you got like this little book that you can give as a little gift. So I like creating little things like this, like I said, just to give as gifts. All right, so this is actually the one I'm going to walk you through. I'm just going to show you the other design. I made 2 different designs. So this one has some embossing on it. The other one I did just completely with pattern paper. And so then you can, again, add your envelopes here, and you have all 8 of your cards on this side in this little box. So I'm going to show you how to make this gift box. The nice thing is, of course, you can use it for the holidays to give your handmade cards as a little gift for the holidays. Of course, you can also use it for any other occasion. You don't have to use Christmas papers or Christmas decorations. You can make just a general box with like all occasion cards in it and give it as a gift. So, all right. So that is what we are going to focus on. So let me get a little bit set up here. So basically, I wrote out some things for you guys this time. Since I was having technical difficulties, I thought I better just write it out. So basically, you'll be able to make one gift box with 1½ pieces of cardstock. So the cardstock that I'm talking about is 8½ by 11-inch cardstock. So you'll need 1 full sheet, and then you'll need a half a sheet. So with the full sheet, you actually can get these 2 pieces. So I'm going to see if I can get them on here a little bit. Here's this other little piece. So this is the instructions for this little piece. So you'll be able to cut 2 of these 2 pieces from that one 8½ by 11-inch piece. So the first thing you'll do is cut your 8½ by 11. You'll cut the 11-inch side down to 10¾ inches. And once you cut that little 1/4 inch off, then you can cut these 2 pieces. This piece is 6¼ inches by 10¾ inches. And you're going to, I'm going to take this off of here. You're going to score it at 4¾ inches. You're going to come in 4¾ inches on each side, and you'll have this little, I think this is 1¼ Yeah. You'll have a little 1¼ inch spine for your book. So if you can kind of see, this is where I scored. So it's equal on each side. 4¾ in, 4¾ in. So you have to do for this piece. This will be your outside part of your box. So that'll be your book part. And then this part here is for your envelopes inside the box. So basically, you're going to use this 2¼ inch piece. It's going to be 2¼ by 10¾ and then you'll score this in on each side. Oh, I hope you guys are still there. All of a sudden I got a weird message. Okay, you'll score this in on each side at 2¼ and 2.5. So you'll make like I'll show you, you'll make like a little spot for your envelopes. This will be for your envelopes. You'll have a 1/4 inch section on each side. So you'll score in 2 1/4 and 2.5 for this one. And then I'll give you the other one right away. This is for the box part on the inside of the card. So I just showed you the envelope one. The envelope one is this thin one, but this little box part here on the bottom, that is what this piece is for. So this is what you need the 1/2 a piece of cardstock for. So the 8.5 by 11, if you just cut it in half at 5.5, then you can cut it down to 5 by 8 3/8 inches. And then all you're going to do with this piece is score in 2 inches on each side. So you can start with the 8 3/8 and score in 2 inches, score in 2 inches. Then you can turn it and score in 2 inches again. Okay. So that's basically what all these score lines are to make this little box here. So we're going to start with this one, and I'll show you how I decorated it. So I'll take this off of here, and I will definitely put all of these measurements out on my blog so that you will be able to get them there in case you did not get them here. But basically what I like to do as I was creating these, I found that it's just easier to decorate all of this first before you put your box, the little package together. So what I have is, this is going to be the front and the back of your little gift box. So I have pretty much the same design for the front and the back with just a couple alterations on the front. So this piece is 6 by 4.5. So let's go ahead and do this first. This might be easier. So you're going to cut 2 pieces of white cardstock if you're going to decorate it the same way I did. You can use cardstock, or you can use your designer paper if you just want to go directly designer paper on this. But it's 6 by 4 3/4. So we'll add this to each side. And I just added a little bit of white in here just to kind of break up this dark color, because I'm using Secret Sea for this base. That's the color that I'm using. And then you're going to cut a couple of pieces of designer paper. So this is from the Traditions of Christmas suite. So this is the Traditions of Christmas designer series paper. It is back in stock. So if you've been waiting for it to come back, it's back. So this piece is going to go down on the bottom, and then I just cut a different pattern for the top. So the top is 4 1/4 by 1.5 inches. So let's go ahead and just add these pieces. You can also decorate the spine of this gift box. I didn't. I chose to just leave the spine the way it was with that color, but you could definitely do that as well. So let's add this. So that's what the front of the box will look like. That's the pattern I decided to go with. And then on the back, we're going to do the same thing, same pieces. So this is 4 1/4 by 1.5 for this dark blue piece. And then 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 down on the bottom. All right, so let's get that on there. So let's let this set up for a second, and we'll create the little focal point for the front. So I just die cut a shape using the traditional labels. So this is the traditional labels bundle. It has all these different Christmas greetings in it, and I just use one of these labels that's what we're gonna decorate the front of this one with. And I'm just using Old Olive ink, and I cut this little flower from the designer paper. So I'm gonna just kind of lay it there because I wanna make sure that I have enough room to put this on there. So this is gonna go down a little bit. So I'm just using Old Olive. I don't know if I told you that. I got a little discombobbled here, I guess, because of those technical difficulties. So let's just add this on here. All right, and then this is just going to go on the front. So this will be the front of our little box. So let's add some dimensionals. Yeah, my family always knows that they're getting handmade cards for Christmas. That's what I do. I guess it's never really a surprise to them that they're getting that. They just actually don't know, obviously, what kind of cards they're getting, but they know they're getting cards. All right, so that is what our box looks like. So this is the front of the box, and then the spine, and then I have the same kind of decorations on the back. So now we can move to doing some stuff on the inside of the box. So let's go ahead and create the little box for the cards. So this again is what the piece is. It's 5 by 8 3/8, and you just score it in at 2 inches on each side. So I've already done that. And we're gonna add some pattern paper here. So let me grab that. So I have a 4 by 1 3/4 inch piece of pattern paper, and this I'm gonna put, like, this will be the front of the box. So I'm just gonna add that right away. So it's 4 by 1 3/4. And we'll put it on there. And then I did decorate the sides. So when you look at this box, you can see that these sides are decorated here. So this is the box we're making. So I put something on the front, and then I decorated both sides. So those little pieces are going to be, let's see, do I have them right? I think I cut them a little short, but they're supposed to be 1 3/4, I believe, but we'll go with the short ones. We'll go with the short one. Here, this is the better one. It's 1 3/4 by 3/4 inches. So I might have to cut a different one for the other side. So let's put that on there. I think I lost my other little piece and I must have grabbed a scrap. Let's see if I can grab one real quick. We'll get it. I'm just gonna cut one really quick since I know that I don't have the right size. See, that's what happens when you are working on this late at night. It always happens to me. All right, let's see if this one works better. That one looks the same size. So it's 1 3/4 by 3/4 inches. So that's how you decorate the sides. So let's go ahead and add this piece. It's a good thing I had a little scrap sitting out, right? All right, so those will be the sides of our box. So basically, all you're going to do is fold on all these score lines. So once you complete that scoring, that you score in 2 inches, you're going to make a cut on the bottom here along this 8 3/8, excuse me, 8 3/8 inch side. You're going to make a cut here, 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 and here because you want some tabs that you can tuck on the inside to create this box. So let me fold this. So basically these little pieces are going to get tucked in here, and it will create this little box. And this is the box that's going to go on the inside for your cards. So let's go ahead and glue this together. So I like to angle my pieces once I cut it. So you'll notice that my pieces here are angled. And the reason I do that is because then it fits flush with the top here. If you don't angle them, sometimes they'll stick up a little bit. So that's why I like to angle them. So let's do this. I'm going to fold this back so you can kind of see. So I'll add some glue here. And then we'll push that up. I like to use liquid glue too because it gives me an ability to kind of line this up better. And then this side, what I did is I just added glue to each of these. And we're going to try to do them at the same time. Let's add some glue. And then we're going to add glue on this side. Let's flip it over. All right, so we're going to squish these together, turn them, and then try to squish them in there. So that's probably the trickiest part of the box. That's it. Now I can kind of scoot this around. All right, so that's what our little box looks like. Let's give this a second to just set up. Okay. All right, let me grab my gift box here. All right, so we can bring this back. This is that first piece we put together. And you're going to add glue to the side, of course, that doesn't have your designer paper. So we'll add some glue on here. And then what I want to do is I adhered mine directly on the bottom. I suppose I should have made sure I got the correct side. Thought I did. So I'm going to adhere mine directly on the bottom. That way, if you want to stand it up, you can. I just need to get my hand in here to hold this down. Okay, so that'll just help it stand if you adhere it directly towards the bottom. But if you want to center it a little bit with your cards, you could put your cards in here and move this up just a little bit. But I find it's easier just to adhere it right to the bottom. All right, so that's what our little book looks like so far. So now let's go ahead and grab this other piece, which is our envelope piece. And now I just have to find my paper. Here's my paper. So this is that 2 1/4 by 10 3/4 inch piece. And I scored it in on each side at 2 1/4 and 2 1/2, just to kind of make this little band. This is going to be a little band for your envelopes. And then to decorate this piece, I just kind of went with obviously the same designer paper. So it's 2. So this is 2 inches wide and it's 5 1/2 inches long. And we will just add that right in here. Oops, let's not put it on the score line. All right, so let's do this on the inside. So I played around with this a little bit to try to figure out what the best way is to do this. But I just took my envelopes and I put them in this little belly band thing. And this just kind of helped me stabilize this a little bit more. And then I added some glue. So you'll have to be Just careful with your glue so that you don't get it on the envelopes, or you will stick your envelopes to the inside of the box. So you don't want to do that. And as I tell you that, I'll probably do that. All right, so we're gonna just flip this around, and actually, I think I'm gonna have to turn this a little bit. Hopefully I can keep this in camera so you guys can see. But you're basically gonna hold it like this, and then you're just gonna center it in here. And hopefully I didn't glue my envelopes down. So, and hopefully I gave myself enough room to scoot these out. So these will scoot out if I want to. So doesn't look like they're glued down, but we'll just leave them in there right now to give that a chance to set up. So we do have the ability to scoot these envelopes in and out. And then we can take our cards and we can tuck those in. So I'll just show you some of the cards. I just did a video on Wednesday where I showed you how to make this fun little pop-up card. So if you didn't see that video, I did link to it in the description with this video. So I have this little pop-up card, and then I have some other cards from my Christmas card making club, some cards from that I've done videos on in the past. So I tried to link to those in the description. So if you weren't able to join my Christmas card making club, I did provide a link to the tutorial. So the tutorial is available. So these are just some of the cards that I put in there. So I like to coordinate my boxes, you know, the design of my box with the design of the cards that I'll be giving away. But you don't necessarily have to do that. I just kind of like to do that. And then you just kind of tuck these in here, and you have a fun little gift giving idea. So isn't that fun? I just thought it's just a really simple little box idea. I saw it on Pinterest. I think the creator's name was Trisha Morris. So I saw it on Pinterest and I thought it was really cute. I did modify her design a bit, but the concept is the same. So yeah, so that is what I wanted to share with you. So if you like to give, you know, gifts like this for Christmas, it's very fun to create, and you know, you can do this. There we go. You could do this with any supplies that you have on hand. So obviously these are my Christmas ones. That's one set. And if you are just joining me, I'll show you the other set. This is the other set that I created, just a different design. You can decorate this however you want. If you want to add more, you know, designer paper to the spine of this little book thing, you could certainly do that. And then these, I'll show you these cards right away. This is another one of those pop-ups. So here is the pop-up that I created on the inside of the card. Pop-up is really easy to create, so I recommend going to take a look at that video. And then these are, you probably recognize some of these cards because I've done videos on these before with the little metallic textures and things like that. So I just included all these cards in this little package. Makes a really, really nice gift giving idea. So let's tuck these back in there. So I'm stuck on a card. So like I said, it fits about 8. It will stand, so it does stand on its own. And you actually, if you wanted to put a little tie here to tie this shut, when you're creating this, before you adhere these, like these white pieces, put a piece of ribbon straight across here and give yourself enough extra ribbon so that you can tie a bow on the side. I opted not to do that, but you certainly could add some ribbon or whatever you want to create a little closure here to keep it closed. So those are the 2 gift box ideas I have for you, and I will get these out on the blog for you this weekend, and then I'll try to come back to this video and put the link so that you can get all the measurements and everything in case you miss that. So, all right, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this little gift giving idea, and I hope that you create a bunch of handmade cards and package them up and give them away as gifts. They're just such a great way to just share your love of card making and to give people a nice handmade gift this Christmas. All right. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and a great week. And I will see you guys again next Saturday. So take care, everybody.